I love it. Sing the Chord of Praise. That's the name of that song.
I think we've said that before.
And I should know because I wrote it. But anyway, yeah, it's all about giving God praise. And we want to do that, especially with the title of today's study, which is called Regret is a Horrible Thing.
Yep.
And I think we all know that regret is terrible. But before we get knee deep into the study, I want to say hi to everybody out there, and thank you for being with us today. I am Pastor Eric, and let me say this because it's something I don't emphasize too often. Pastor of the Journey Church, which is located in Central Wisconsin. We are a brand new church, but we're also doing this ministry out on the web because it's something that we feel called to. And over on the other side of my screen is my trusty producer and co-host of this particular show, Kay. Kay, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I just said that I can get this out there so that I don't forget. I've been thinking since last week's episode. It has been on my brain and in the back. The MSG, it's called a paraphrase. When it's put into somebody else's words, it's called a paraphrase.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah,
if you were to see our previous episode, we got hung up on a word that we could not find.
Could not think of it.
Anywhere in our collective brains, we were stone cold. And paraphrase. The word is paraphrase.
Father.
So we're the idea, you can go back and see the episode. Won't spend too much on this explanation, but the idea is that there are translations, which means you go back to languages, original language, not original writings, because we don't have any original writings, but you go back to the original language and other languages that things were written in, and translate from there. Our Bibles are mostly translations, but there are a few that are paraphrases. In other words, put into your own words. All right, I throw it back to you now that you have done that, brought everybody up to speed.
Yay, we did it. We thought of it. Yeah,
no, you thought of it. I'm still over here. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's it. So you get 100% credit.
No, it's okay. We share on this show. We share. Because I can't do this without you. So just as much as you can't do this without me.
Aww.
Yeah, I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
So, but welcome everybody. Glad to see you here today or tomorrow or somewhere in the future where you're like, I should probably be watching this because I like their show. Well, welcome nonetheless. We'd love to see you. We'd love to see you like the video. We'd love to see you subscribe to our channel, and we'd love to see you on later episodes or previous episodes. Love to see you there as well.
Mm-hmm.
You could also find down in the description below, you can find other places where you can support us on other various platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, or formerly known as Twitter, X. Mm-hmm. Or as much so if you want to give a monetary value, which would absolutely help us because we run on nothing but, not spite, but the grace of God.
and people's generosity.
And coffee. And lots of tea for me.
Oh, and coffee, yes.
And lots of tea as well.
Hey, you steal some of my coffee sometimes.
Sometimes.
I don't steal your tea.
The holiday roasts. No, I take enough tea away for both of us, just as much as you take a bunch of coffee away for yourself.
And let me. She does not steal. I make it for her. I say, hey, are you doing coffee today? And she says yes or no, and I make accordingly.
Wait. Right.
This is going to be a tough day for you, isn't it?
It is. I'm tired. It's been a very strange couple months
Well,
more or less recently.
Yeah. Let me explain this to our audience. Last week, we had a death in the family, and it wasn't just a death. As a pastor, I also do many types of ministries and so forth, and it was my wife's father, who is an attendee of our church, and I also do hospice ministries, and we have known now for the past 4 or 6 months, due to his congestive heart failure and a heart attack about a year ago, that his heart muscle was just dying off, and so it was a matter of time, and not very long ago, a little over a week ago, he passed away, and so we were with him through the night until his passing, and so we did the hospice work, and of course that's also Kay's grandfather, and so as a family, these are the things that we have been going through, and the funeral service is yet to be, because of trying to get different family members and so forth to be able to come into town and to work with a lot of other schedules. So that funeral service and also as a minister and things, his name is Reverend Bob Welker. That funeral service is going to be for him on October 23rd. So appreciate your prayers. There's some strain going on in the family, and as there is when you lose grandfather, great uncle, father, dad, and all those roles that he played. And so we just appreciate your prayers at this time. But but God's grace is good. It's sufficient. It's a different kind of strain right at the moment for everybody that's ever been through this. We're not the only ones in the world. And so it's just a bit of a different strain. But as we move on, we want to continue. Where all can they find us, Kay?
They can all find us here on YouTube, on X, formerly known as Twitter, on Instagram, or on Facebook. And you can find accounts. You can find all that information in the description below.
And again,
well as where you can support us if you would like to financially.
Yeah. And we have a couple of different ways to support us. Number one, we have you can become a member, or what we call a sojourner. $10 a month, and there's lots of things to go on to that. We'll talk about that at the end of our program. But you can also do a one-time gift to just say thank you and appreciate your ministry, and that's located in the description too.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, that's the same part. It's the same. Most people don't realize it, but it's actually the same as giving a one-time gift or becoming a member, or the two various options. Though do not forget that you have to have an account. And if you have a Gmail, super easy. You can let Google make the account for you, or you can make it for yourself. No problem there. However you want to do it. You have to have the account because it is a money transaction, so that it not only keeps you safe, but it keeps us safe, because that's how they use it to help encrypt it, so that scammers and people who like to thieve and steal can't get to it.
Yep. So trying to keep you safe, and that is the Ko-fi, Ko-fi. What do you call it? Connection that you'll find down there, right?
Yes. It'll also have our name on it as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move on into the study for today. Thanks for being with us. Regret is a horrible thing. And I want to start off before we get into too knee deep of anything. There's a little bit of a statement that I want to read. I didn't know if you noticed that when I put that on the production notes.
Very different
Yeah.
I like it though.
But we all need to make sure that we come from this point of view, so that we're all on the same page when we talk about the kind of regret that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And most regret normally works this way. It doesn't hit the human heart until things become final. Then regret settles in.
When is the time that everything comes back to you when you have nothing else to do but lay and think?
Right. That's exactly what we're talking about here. You got the picture. That's when regret hits us, is when you're pigeonholed, when there's no other step, there's no other choice that you can make. And now that you have to live with that single choice, with that life of choice, with a series of choices, whatever it is. But at the end of it, when you come to the end where there's no other choice to make, there's no other options.
Your legs don't work. Your legs don't work like they used to before. You can't run anymore.
Yeah. So there's one of two things. Either there's satisfaction with everything that you did, I am satisfied, or there is regret.
Yeah.
That's when regret settles in. And so the statement here, mankind in general does not experience regret until things become final. No more choices can be made, and the individual must live with what is left. Now, if there's righteousness and so forth, there's usually no regret. If there is a regret, it's like what was said of the one patriot when he said, my only one regret is that I have but one life to give for my country. In other words, I'm not sad about anything that I've done. I do it all over.
I only have one chance to give of myself. Like
this. And the same thing about people who follow after Jesus Christ. I've never heard a single person who has followed Jesus Christ to their very last breath with all that they've had. I've never heard them ever give. I've never heard of one of them testify about giving a regret.
The only thing I think I've just said is I wish I would have done more, or I could have done more.
Or started sooner.
Is probably the most common. It's like, I'm happy with what I did, but I wish I started sooner. Got your head screwed on straight a little bit sooner, but,
But now the other side, people who lived a life of sin, lived a life of chasing after tons of other things. I've heard those people come down with many a regret. There's no other place that they can turn. In the one particular case that's coming up in my mind, the cancer was taking them, and the life was not going to change. The past, the history is made, and whatever. And in the final days of that life and doing hospice work there was regret.
It's a lot of regret.
Because the past is beyond them, and there's no way to be able to change the past. There's nothing that you can do.
Right.
It's done. What's done is done.
And you know what's really sad? A lot of times it's just repeated regret. A lot of people are in this.
Mean?
A lot of people make the same mistakes in their life, even though they're different people. They made similar mistakes, and so they have similar regrets.
Are you talking about two different people, or are you talking about somebody on a wheel making the same mistakes all the time?
Two different people.
Okay.
Same wheel.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that in life that's just cyclical through history. But of course, there's the popular saying is the definition of insanity, but as well as, that's not actually the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
The one I was thinking of is you are doomed. History is doomed to repeat itself if people don't learn from it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So all day, every day, so many people make the same mistakes and same pitfalls that other people are falling into because, that's just regrettable.
Yeah. There's
so nothing else to say.
So I know this is kind of heavy of a subject matter that we're going to do, and I get that, but by covering it, the idea is that somebody out there listening, I don't want you to have regrets. You can start with something new. In fact, I've got a short that's going to be coming out that is very much in the same thinking about this, and it's talking about the past. And looking at the Sermon on the Mount, there was a thought that had never occurred to me before, and I did the short devotional based on this, and that is the idea that in the whole Sermon on the Mount, Jesus teaching about the way that we should live, not one bit of the Sermon on the Mount is devoted to dealing with the past.
He can't change yesterday.
It's not only that, but here's the only way to deal with the past. If you come to Jesus Christ and ask for forgiveness and start looking to him to change your life, the past is forgiven, and even God himself forgets your past, not to bring it up against you ever again. And you start from where you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's how God. Why? Because you can't go back to the past. There's nothing you can do about it. The past is in the past, and you can't go back and change it. Not by living in the past. The only way to change your past is to come to Jesus Christ and have him change your present.
And
the past is still there, but you start from where you are and make a change going into the future.
Forge a better future.
So change always moves into the future. There's nothing you can do with the past. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Now, there may be times where we need to ask people for forgiveness, try to repair something if you possibly can, and we're admonished to do that. But as far as living in the past, as far as beating ourselves over the head with the past,
it's like a bad smell or something that's in the back of a closet that you need to get rid of.
Yeah, you got to get over it.
Especially if you're going to look at it from, I need forgiveness from something that I did in the past or somebody else did to you in the past, and they're seeking forgiveness, and it is something that you've both been stuck on, because very much so you either need to forgive and forget even if they don't seek forgiveness, because you can't let that past dictate how you move forward, and clean out the closet, give it to Jesus, he'll throw it away, it'll be great. But if they come back and they ask for forgiveness because it's holding them back, you still need to help
there's a thing there,
release it, so that you can help them and Jesus clean out their closet
and move forward. Notice everything is always pointing to the future. And so as we look with this, remember, regret is that you've never done anything with it moving into the future, and now you're pigeonholed and there is no more options.
You're just sitting in the middle of a mess.
You're out of options.
Yeah.
And that's when regret sets in. So we want to deal with people in a way. Today we want to give a study to say, how can you avoid regret?
Could you fully regret?
Try it again. Take your time.
Can you fully avoid regret from beginning to end?
Oh, we live human lives. All of us come from a point of sin to start with.
You'd hope not, but you would assume so.
I would assume it's a rare possibility, because we have to live some life until we find Christ, because Christ finds us. And he's there all the time, and we never want to minimize that, but there are times where finally he's able to get a hold of us and a hold of our minds and a hold of our hearts, so that we can turn towards him and make that decision to turn towards him. Until we do, we're going to live out that sinful life because sin is in us until it's cleansed and purged and removed from us. If we, and that needs to be sought to be done. We could really rack up the tally, and we can rack it up fast. And so are there, regrets? I don't know if any human being could live without regrets. I would think maybe possible, but it's going to be rare. And in this particular generation, I think it's going to be very, very rare that would happen.
I think it's in most generations, but
well, let me just kind of say, and I didn't mean to take this much time in. So here's the book of the month, and Sunshine and Smiles. This book was written in 1904 by a fellow by the name of Bud Robinson, and I'm going to be covering that this month. And the cool thing about it is 1904 is when the book was written. He was born in the 1860 straight up, I think, which was the year before the Civil War started.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I believe it started 1861 to 1865, I think, if I'm correct on that. And he can remember, at 4 years old, he can remember a few things of the Yankees in their uniform marching through his house, far up in the sticks of Tennessee, up in the mountains.
Wow.
That's where he's from. Now, 1860, and you would think such a simple life. How could he possibly have anything of regrets prior to coming to faith in Christ when he was 21 years old?
I have regrets.
Yeah,
I mean, not anymore, but
but I mean, a simpler day. How could he possibly have racked up regrets living up in the mountains of Tennessee in 1861, 2, 3, 4, and 5? I think they said it was 1867 is when they moved to Mississippi, his family. How can you possibly have regrets in that simple country mountain life? With nobody nearby and you in the mountains, the hills, and your family.
I can still regret how I treat my family.
Well, his dad was a moonshiner.
Oh.
And he recounts a number of times one of the first things he learned how to do was to drink whiskey.
Yeah. You say simpler times, but living up on a mountain is hard.
It's hard living.
It's hard.
It's hard living.
I mean, country living anywhere.
And then he talked about they moved back, and so they moved back in 1872. They moved back to Tennessee, and he's still a kid, and he was talking about how guys and gals would just shack up. There were many a family that not only did Ma have a little baby kid on her lap, but oldest daughter may have had one or two children living with them in the house, and maybe second oldest daughter at 15 or 14 might have had a baby also, and so no decency of family living. That kind of thing. And he said, but that's all that we knew, because we didn't have churches in the mountains where I was.
Right.
And we didn't have schools. He didn't learn to read until he was 21. After he came to faith to Christ, Bud Robinson, he didn't learn to read until he was 21.
Wow.
That's just attest how the Lord helped him, and that was pretty cool. So regrets, until Christ takes over, we allow Christ to take over our lives. As long as we have control and do things with our own control, and look through the Bible, it really wasn't hard for me to come up with examples, and I picked on one, and we're going to do that here in just a minute. But it's not hard to pick up examples of people who decided to take decisions and things into their own hands, and the regret that not only on a few of these situations, it's not only the family that felt it, but the world, especially when you talk about Abraham and him taking things into his own hands. The world is still dealing with Abraham's decisions to this very day.
I bet who has some regrets? The 7 Sons of Sceva. I felt like pulling that around.
Yeah, that's one of our shorts. Also,
it's gonna go up on Tuesday.
That was not a brilliant move. Let me tell you. If you don't
know Jesus, and I know Paul. Who the heck are you?
Who you? Yeah.
Who is you?
You are no one with authority. That is for sure.
No, that'll come out on Tuesday.
Yeah, so
it'll be a little
look for
while.
that one. All right, so here we go. We're going to need a little history, and so we're going to read our scripture text today, but we're going to need a little history to back us up. So we're going to start with historiology. That's what we're going to take a look into. Today's scripture lesson comes from Luke chapter 16, verses 19 through 31. Now, the setup on this is nice and easy. And I had that in, are you going to do it in Blue Letter, or are you going to do it in Bible Gateway?
Yeah, it's easier to read it in Bible Gateway, but I have it in Blue Letter.
Okay. Because I remember you telling me that it was easier to read in one than the other, and I was going to have you read it for us. So Luke chapter 16, verse 19 through 31. Now, Jesus has been teaching in parables, and here in Luke 16. And but what we're going to do is we're going to kind of just parachute in on this parable and take it as a thought for itself. But we have to contend to make sure that we keep it in context. We need to contend with this entire parable in one ball, so that we don't take it out of context. Okay, so Kate, we're going to leave that up to you.
Yay!
Read it to us.
I shall. The parable of the rich man and Lazarus. Jesus said, "There was a certain rich man who was splendidly clothed in purple and fine linen, and who lived each day in luxury. At his gate lay a poor man named Lazarus, who was covered with sores. As Lazarus lay there longing for scraps from the rich man's table, the dogs would come and lick his open sores. Finally, the poor...
It's pretty gross, isn't it?
It's disgusting. Anyway, finally the poor man died and was carried by the angels. I almost said eagles. That's not right. Carried by the angels to be with Abraham. The rich man also died and was buried." Isn't that interesting how even though one lived in poverty and then the other one lived in wealth, and yet they still died?
Both died.
Yeah. "And his soul went to the place of the dead. There, in torment, he saw Abraham.
This is a rough day for you. I see that. I really do.
Abraham. Yes, he is. He is a man.
He's
Abraham.
Needs a theme song now.
Okay. Maybe I should have brought my monster in with me. There, in torment, he saw Abraham in the far distance with Lazarus at his side. The rich man shouted, "Father Abraham, have some pity." I can't read. "Have some pity. Send Lazarus over here to dip the tip of his fingers in water and cool my tongue." Oh, sorry, finger, not fingers. One finger. Finger in water and cool my tongue. I am in anguish in these flames. Ouch. But Abraham said to him, "Son, remember that during your lifetime you had everything you wanted, and Lazarus had nothing. So now he is here being comforted, and you are in anguish. And besides, there is a great chasm separating us. No one can cross over to you from here, and no one can cross over to us from there. The rich man said, Please, Father Abraham, at least send him to my father's home, for I have 5 brothers and want him to warn them so they don't end up in this place of torment. But Abraham said, Moses and the prophets have warned them. Your brothers can read what they wrote. The rich man replied, No, Father Abraham, but if someone is sent to them from the dead, they will repent of their sins and turn to God. But Abraham said, If they won't listen to Moses and the prophets, they won't listen to even if someone rises from the dead.
Okay.
But Father Abraham, you have many sons as Father Abraham.
All right.
I almost broke into that a couple of times, hence why every time I said Father Abraham, I kind of paused a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and I have actually an interesting question. Every time I read the story, we don't actually get into it. But even if the rich man had everything he wanted, I guess this is in the time of the law, where it's them listening to the law and following the law to the T, but not with Jesus. Correct? Is that when this is?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Because we live underneath the time of Jesus where we can ask him and have our sins forgiven like that. Whereas back then they needed to have sacrifices, right?
Well, they use sacrifices, but the great symbol in the very idea of using Abraham. Mm-hmm. Abraham was not made, the Bible tells us very clearly, Abraham was not made righteous by the sacrifices he made. He was made righteous because he was faithful. He believed. And so that was what God attributed to Abraham as righteousness. Okay? So even then, it was still believed and faith by God, but by faith, what would you do if God required a sacrifice for you?
To do it.
If you believed God, if you had faith in God, that you would do that you would have that obedience. So they're very, this is, to me, common sense equal, which is a lot of, there's things that are not said in this story. They're not because
people back in the day would have understood that.
Jesus cuts through all that explanation stuff because it's just understood,
right,
to get to the thing that he's really trying to emphasize. Yeah.
Okay, because I was always curious where it's like, well, obviously the rich man didn't have faith and didn't practice sacrifices, regardless of the sacrifices. He didn't have faith. He did everything and lived life how he wanted to. Basically. So that was always my question, because it's like, well, but then it wasn't explained to that the poor man had faith and followed the law to what he could in his faith. So I guess if it is common sense that is what separates them, it's just always in my brain where it's like, we don't exactly say, but I assume since one went to the paradise and then one went to the suffering. So, but I just wanted to clear that out.
In the Torah, there's a law of a specific way that people are supposed to treat the poor and the stranger in your gate. That's the way that it's worded.
Yes.
And that's the very beginning illustration of what
that
Jesus
he's obviously
gave.
Not following.
Correct.
Okay.
So therefore, when it comes to being a believer of God, no, he could care less. He allows, there's not one thing as a rich man.
Can't care less now. He very much so cares.
Okay, let's go back to what we talked about, regret. He's pigeonholed.
He's living the regret.
There are no other ways to make any choices.
No.
It's done. Now he has to live with the decisions.
You opened this can of worms.
So you
now
either live with, so you got to live with the decisions. Were they good decisions? And you would say to yourself, man, I'm glad I did that. Or you live with regret.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get ahead of myself because we're going to cover that. There's 6 things that I have found, And if other people want to do a study here, maybe there's other insights that you personally will have where you will find that there is regret, that maybe the list that I give 6, is not 6 regrets, is not what I would call exhaustive.
But it is quite a bit for the show.
I think it's good for us, and it's what we have time to go for.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Well, I'm glad that answers my question. Because I don't know the Torah, and I'm sure a lot of people don't know out there that it shows that obviously he's not following the law if he's not going to follow any of the laws or all of the laws.
Because there's a law about taking care of the poor,
he's just
and
gonna do what he wants.
Lazarus targeted him to be at his gate to ask him for help. That's why he was at his gate, and basically he blew Lazarus off. There's a law. I should have pity on you, and it is more of a heart thing than it is just I could begrudgingly or regretfully follow the law. Man, I regret I'm doing this. I hate that I'm doing this.
I would still say,
but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway.
Begrudgingly.
That's one way that it can be done, but another way is it's like, oh, there's the law. I'm expected to. Okay, well, God help my heart, and this man needs something. Mm-hmm. So I'm required by the law to do it. The man at my gate, and that is a specific place there, and Jesus pulls it out specifically for that reason. And so and he did not do that. Okay.
We have a child trying to break into the office.
Yeah. Do we need to see to that?
No, probably not. They stopped. So I assume another adult took
is
care
around.
of it.
Okay.
I hope so.
I do too.
They stopped.
So anyway, so that's part of where we're at. Which now I want to cover a little bit of history here. Okay. We need to learn a little bit about a culture. Because there is a word that we look for, I'm not looking for it, but there's a word that Jesus uses. So if you could bring over Blue Letter Bible for us.
Okay, yeah, Blue Letter.
Yeah, it was what we were using before. And
I thought I was Googling it.
Well, I want to show the word and where we're getting the word first.
Okay. Fair enough. Right.
And if you'll go back up just a little bit, it's called a place of torment, but we are told that where
the place of the dead.
Yeah, the place of the dead, and so we need to look that word up so we can see what the word is.
In Hades.
There it is.
86.
Hades.
Wow, 86.
Okay, and it's Hades.
Hades?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's how you say that.
Yep, Hades.
Okay.
And realm of the dead. And so I did a lot of research in doing that. So you go, well, Hades. Hades, that's a Greek word for realm of the dead. That is true. Jesus is speaking to a bunch of people
they would automatically understand
that the common language of the time is Greek.
Okay, yeah.
But there are 3 different languages being spoken in Judea at the time of Christ. Greek, which was the common language between them all. And here's the incredible thing. Where these people were in Judea, Jerusalem, throughout the area that later became known as Palestine, throughout all this area, people had to know 3 different languages.
That's crazy.
So you have these huge groups of people that were bi and trilingual.
Just because they had to be for life.
And that blows me away because, like, I struggle mastering English.
Right.
Let alone another language. So I struggle there. But anyway, I wanted to pull this out for you. because we need to find out, like, what are we really talking about here? Because this realm of the dead, because the Hebrews see it just a little bit differently than the rest of the world does.
Interesting.
All right.
Is it because of the Torah?
It's because of Hebrew teaching.
Okay.
Yeah, we see it. Other places have something like Hades and so forth about
I guess
hell.
The Catholics have purgatory.
Right. So different groups and cultures have different ideas of the realm of the dead.
Afterlife. Okay,
Afterlife, yeah. But Jesus, the Son of God, is about ready to teach us about what he knows about the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we
Which
need
is
to
pretty much
perk
everything.
up and pay attention here, because he's going to tell us some things. Okay, and that's where we're going to get the regrets. Okay, so the word is Hades, and it means realm of the dead. Now, I'm going to say this. We need to understand that in that time, we're not talking about heaven and hell. That teaching is going to come in during the book of Revelations. In the realm of the dead, if you'll go ahead and call up Google,
Okay.
see what I'm looking for is a picture. And what we're going to need to do is we need to convert that Greek word, realm of the dead, to the Hebrew word. Even though Jesus didn't use the Hebrew word, you will see that Jesus is teaching the Hebrew word of the dead. And so what I would like for you to do is just to simply ask Google for an image of Sheol. Sheol.
How is, like, would you want something like this? Or
Anything that will crank up nice and big for us. Not that. The one that you were on will work, because we kind of need the diagram. Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
A diagram. Okay, I'll find a
So that way we can give
Does that work?
everybody. Yeah, that'll work.
I can.
So that we can give
Can't make it
everybody
bigger.
a visual of
Made it
what
smaller.
Sheol is about. Sheol exactly means the same thing as Hades, realm of the dead.
Okay.
But in the Hebrew culture, and what Jesus is even going to teach, is going to be this diagram of what you are about to see.
Does that work?
That works lovely.
Wonderful. I found a new button to use.
Hey, all right.
It just came to me about trying to find something so that everybody can see. But here we go.
All right. And there you go. Now, this is Sheol is that black thing in the middle, and that is the realm of the dead. In Sheol is both the place of torment and another place that Jesus refers to as paradise. They are in the same place, the realm of the dead. But here Jesus gives us a clear picture that I tried to go through and I could not find anybody else that depicted, even when I specifically asked for pictures or diagrams that would show Jesus's teaching with Lazarus and the rich man. Nobody showed the picture that Jesus is giving. I couldn't find one, not on Google. And when I was doing the research for this, and I worked on it for so long, I almost went to sleep on it. I mean, it
You barely made it. You probably sent. So he usually sends me the script for not a script, but an outline for this. He sent it to me. I walk in this morning. I'm like, hey, I got that script, and he goes, you did. I sent it? Huh. I got it done, put on a video, and the next thing I know, mom's waking me up. Well, mom's like,
lights.
He's in here with his feet propped up, head tilted all the way back, totally knocked out. And she's like, are you asleep?
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, I was making all kinds of noise to prove it. But I want everybody to catch this picture if you can. And if you can make a mental image, the way that it is described is you have this realm of the dead, this black area. Okay. Now, if you were draw right in between, I don't care which way, if you go north, south, I don't care if you go east, west, because we're not told, but there is a chasm that separates one side from the other. If you read it, it's in our story. And that chasm is so wide that souls on the one side can't get from one side to the other, and souls on the other side, even though it can't get from their side to the other. One side of the chasm is called paradise. There's another reference in this story. There's a reference to that side. They call it paradise. They call it a great big banquet is the word that is used. The other place that you will find it is Jesus is on the cross. And while Jesus is on the cross, one of the thieves says, would you remember me when you come into your kingdom? And Jesus' reply is, this day you will be with me
in paradise.
In paradise.
Right.
That's where they were talking about. That realm of the dead that is given over to those who are in the comfort of God.
What is this in comparison to heaven and hell versus paradise or Hades?
Well, when God there's going to be a day where God takes care of Sheol, and it will no longer exist because there will be the judgment of the dead, of all who have ever gone on through death. And it's called the Great White Throne Judgment, and God will empty out Sheol, and people will be judged by whether their name will either be in the Lamb's Book of Life, and of course we already know they'll be in paradise, and then there are those and
it's just the official entry. We already know you're in here, but it's the official entry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they, death, hell, or Sheol,
all of Sheol, the bad side.
All of Sheol, the devil, will all be cast into the lake of fire. They'll no longer exist. We're told that that's what God's final plan is, because there won't be a need for it after that time, whenever that time comes. But until then, there is this realm of the dead. And so we're also told by the Apostle Paul that Jesus Christ has the keys over Sheol? Yes.
Cool.
And he will take those who have gone on before, who have been in paradise, waiting for him, waiting for that blood to flow that would cover for sins for all time. And he will take them up with him, and there will be the first introduction to heaven. But until the Great White Throne Judgment, where all death and hell and Satan are all cast into the lake of fire, Sheol will continue to exist until that day.
Okay.
All right, so it still is the realm of the dead, and it's considered hell, and it's given over all to the agony and so forth that we read in that scripture. Now, go ahead. You have a question?
No, I was going to have, so when we usually think of heaven or say heaven, we actually get it wrong. But as in the translation of, oh, it's heaven, it was paradise, it was so wonderful, which is probably what the other side of Sheol would be like, not actually heaven where God resides and reigns.
Well, theologians believe not since the death of Christ, and with Paul telling us that he has those keys and he has set those people, even though they were in paradise, he set them free to be in heaven with him.
Okay.
But Sheol for hell
Is still
there.
well. I mean, that makes sense when you think about it. Is as God lets Satan reign or be the ruler of this earth, and to have the Underdark or Sheol of this earth still be in his domain for the souls that he reaps to be down there. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. Anyway, okay. I think we have this worked out, and actually very enlightening, although not quite on subject. Very enlightening to me.
Well, we need it for background. That's why we need the history because it is the whole backdrop.
Right.
It is the whole reason for regret. Because remember, regret is about being pigeonholed. Mm-hmm. I have no other options.
Right. Yeah, so this is...
So you have to have this backdrop.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say, well, it's been very enlightening for me.
Okay. One other thing, because there might be somebody out there that would say, wait a minute, I thought the Hebrew word for hell was Gehenna. Can you call that up on Google?
Yeah, I don't know how to spell it.
I will spell it for you. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Gehenna.
A? Okay.
It is a Hebrew word.
But we're not talking... But Jesus wasn't talking in Hebrew, was he?
No, that's why he used the Greek. That's one of the things that just throws the story, is that Jesus says to the crowd, even though it's a mixture of Hebrew and Greek, of Jews and Gentiles, he uses the Greek word for realm of the dead, Hades. At least that's all in all the writings that we have.
Interesting.
Hades is what is used here.
This is
He doesn't use Sheol, which all the Hebrew people standing in the crowd would have understood.
Yeah.
And he doesn't use the word Gehenna, which is hell, if you will.
This is very interesting, but very depressing as well. You bring this over to read.
Yeah.
Gehenna. All right, Gehenna refers to a historical valley near Jerusalem in the valley of Hinnom.
Hinnom.
I put in an extra syllable.
Yes,
which became a symbol of fiery punishment in hell due to its association with the ancient idolatrous child sacrifices, and later its use as a refuse dump for the city. The name was adopted in religious context.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Particularly in the New Testament, to represent the final place of punishment for the wicked, often translated as hell. Wow, a place that people used to kill children, and then immediately for a place that they used to send all the crap downhill, basically.
Okay.
Wow, that...
And it's a Greek... it's a Hebrew... translation of a Greek word.
Yeah.
Gehenna, is the Greek word for the Hinnom Valley.
Mm-hmm.
But the Hebrews grabbed it and used it so that they used it for a word for hell. Now, understand, so what this was a purifying fire. The refuse of the city would go over to this valley, and the fire continued 24/7. Because fire purges. And so what they're doing is they're purging their refuse and turning it to ash and making...
Don't be downwind.
And making something good out of it. And also killing bacteria.
Right.
Killing all those particular things
Very
that you're
necessary.
also doing it. But this is where Jesus says the fire is never quenched and the worm never dies. And the reason why he uses the term worm is because you're dealing with garbage.
Ooh.
So there's, by the time they take it out and take it over there, you got worms in it.
Well, something a lot of other people don't realize, it's not just a garbage dump like what we have, and that's nasty enough. The refuse literally held everything, animal crap, human excrement as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
anything and everything you would want to try and get rid of. It's way worse than what most people would think of. Like, oh, a dump, that's awful. Yeah, it is.
Well,
Now then add a lot more human
okay, so what
biology
we
to it.
do modern day is we take things, we make a refuse pile out of it, we turn it, but we also add other things that add bacteria to it
Chemicals,
in order to break.
not chemicals.
No. We add biological things.
Not cultures.
Sometimes we add cultures. Sometimes we add bacteria.
Right, yeah, that.
Sometimes we just lime it so that it breaks down.
Yeah.
All that other kinds of stuff. But, in some of the biggest dumps, you'll see tractors or bulldozers moving it because that turns it over. Down in the very bottoms, they'll put rams down into it that are hollow piping, and boom, you get methane gas that ends up coming up and out of it, and we put a valve on it. And at nighttime, if you drive by, sometimes you'll see a blue flame on the top of that pipe because we have to burn off the methane, because if not, it makes a pocket and becomes explosive.
Very explosive.
Yeah, so that's how we handled it. The way they handled it back then, and if you think about it, you always are turning it over and have a fire, you can't build up methane. You're also turning it to ash and you're burning it, so you're purging out the bacteria and so forth. That's how they handled it. Now, very interestingly, when it says that the fire is never quenched, that's the idea. This thing burns 24/7.
Well, more sinners to add to the pile. Let's keep the flames going.
Yes, and like I said, by the time you got your refuse out there, and by the way, no plastics, none of this other stuff, everything is biological.
Yeah, no plastics didn't exist back then, really.
Correct. That's what I'm getting at. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to give everybody imagination. And so you're going to get worms in your garbage.
Oh.
Okay? But the person who is considered to be in hell is the person who is considered to be a worm.
Mm-hmm.
So when Jesus says it's where the fire is never quenched and the worm never dies, talking about the people who are there being there eternally in a fire, you're going to go through the fire, but you can't even be burned.
Well, you will be burned, but you won't die
And
from the
Jesus,
burns.
and look at what Jesus calls you. A worm. Something that eats garbage. You can even say a maggot if you want.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Jesus called people maggots. It's like, wow, Jesus, you don't have you seem to be a little rough on
when they're
people who are in hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
They made their choice. They are living their regrets.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into that. But I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. You go, well, I thought I heard that Gehenna is it. No, Gehenna is a word that they used for hell, but it was more or less a word so that you could visualize what they think hell looks like. Because there was an actual Gehenna, is an actual place. And so you take that, and I want you to see that. That's what hell's like. So that's why that became a word for hell. It doesn't mean hell. It's the fire of the Gehinnom. It's a fire of the Hinnom Valley.
Huh. Seems pretty crappy.
I
know. All jokes
you might as well
aside.
A little bit of levity at the subject matter that's okay.
Yeah.
So now let's move on to the theology of what Jesus is trying to tell us here in this parable. Sorry about that. Go ahead and tell everybody what you were just saying.
The visualization. I think I said it right the first time. Of Gehenna is actually turned my stomach. Having a vivid imagination is not great sometimes.
I know this is moving a little backwards, but did you did you put images of
Gehenna?
Gehenna?
No.
Can you bring those up just so that people know where the valley is?
Oh, there was a little.
It's
one.
right outside of the gate.
There was a little one.
And
right
I
there.
do believe that the name, you're going to love this, the name of the gate that led to the Hinnon hillside is called the Dung Gate.
Why not? Okay, there's this picture. Does that give representation?
Yeah. Can you blow it up?
It's the
So I can try to illustrate to people.
There.
Okay. Yeah, and I can illustrate a little bit if you bring it over.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
do you want to
So
take control?
No, that's fine. You've done well. So what you're looking at here is the west. Yeah, you're looking north. This is the west side of the old city.
Wait, how are we looking north if it's the west side?
No, that big building in the back right there,
there?
that's heading north.
Okay.
The valley, the
Oh,
city would be
okay.
to, if you went straight right, the old city would be there. Some of the gates or the wall is still there before the valley drops down into the valley and it comes up. We know that this is the Hinnon Valley because of the refuse that has been found in just layers and layers and layers of ash.
They didn't do their job very good, did they? Then.
For a city that had tons and tons and tons of garbage, and that it was burnt, and that you literally have that much greenery in that. They call it a valley, but
good fertilizer.
yeah. Topsoil fertilizer.
Well,
You've got all that going on.
It looks like a valley to me.
Well, being from Indiana, Ohio, up here in Wisconsin, when you talk about a valley, I'm something that is 10 and hundreds of thousands of acres big.
Look, it can't all be the Shenandoah, okay?
That is just a hillside that goes down. You go across it a little. I mean, there's river valley. Rivers flow inside places like that. I mean, small rivers flow inside of places
I'm
like
sorry.
that.
We only have dells and glens and gulches up here in Wisconsin. Excuse you. No valleys.
Oh yeah, we live in a valley.
Technically,
we do here in central Wisconsin. Is the Central Wisconsin Valley is huge. We're the second largest potato producing region in the United States.
This has nothing to do with the valley specifically.
It has everything to do with the size of the valley.
Okay,
because we grow more than potatoes here too. We grow corn and green beans.
This is south.
Yeah,
west.
Right,
here
that's west of the old city.
Okay.
And and you come out the west side of the gates, and I do believe it was the Dung Gate. I could be wrong.
I remember hearing you talk about that before.
That led to Hinnon and the Valley of Hinnon, but there was always a fire there. It was always on fire. Garbage went there. You dumped off your refuse. It was always biological, and it was always burning.
Oh, that's just...
So even though you had the fire to knock off a lot of smell, you're still going to have smell.
You're still going to have... You can't even imagine. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't been here in a month. I've kept forgetting my garbage to bring over here. You suck. I can't even... Because we all know nothing under the sun has changed. There's nothing new. There's always going to be those people that always miss garbage day.
Well, now do understand why The Hinnon Valley and why Gehenna is on the west side.
Doesn't the wind blow west?
From the east to the west.
Yeah.
So
hey, can't say they didn't have some kind of brains back in the day. Should we replay theology?
So that's really good. That's really good. No, okay. So moving into the theology part of this, and we're gonna bring up Blue Letter Bible. The first thing that these are things that I saw. And I am not the definitive answer. So to those that are following along here, I would challenge you to, and we'll put this in the pastor's notes when we put this up. Maybe there are other regrets that come to your mind that we see. But what I'm about ready to do is to start listing the regrets that I found that the rich man had.
Okay.
That I see, that once he became encircled, once he lost all of his options, to me, these are regrets that he felt. Okay. The first one is, I believe he had the regret of where he was because of the torment that he felt.
I was going to say that's the first and most obvious one. I think almost anybody can get.
It's where Jesus started. So if you will click on that, let's look up the word torment so that we could really understand what it is, and maybe 23. Even do the phrase.
So actually, it is
because
just
until
torment.
He died, it doesn't look like he has any regrets. In fact, we're told later on, Abraham says to him,
Bas anos? Bas anos?
Okay.
I don't know.
Yes. Basanos.
Basanos.
Os. Okay. Short O there on the end. Basanos.
It's not hard to remember, though.
No. And it means, if we go down a little bit, scroll down for me, please.
Oh, yep. Sorry.
No problem. A touchstone, which is a black siliceous stone, siliceous stone, used to test the purity of gold or silver by the color of the streak produced on it by rubbing it with either metal.
That's interesting.
Okay. Or the rack or instrument of torture by which one is forced to divulge the truth.
I guess would make sense with your viciously is a harshly rubbing up the gold or the silver on the stone, which would be a type of torment for the metal, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
You're stressing the metal. Yep. Okay, or torture or torment, acute pains, of the pains of disease of those in hell after death. Okay, so right there's the comparison. What they want you to do is take a look at all those other things, and they're using an image so that you could understand the torture of hell after death. So it's a visual picture that they're wanting to give to you.
I don't know if you could ever actually fully understand. I don't want to understand, but I want to understand it enough to go, no.
Okay. So
to stay away from it.
So to use that, to put that back into the sentence of, and his soul went to the place of the dead there in torment, in stress, the way that you would stress metal to test to see if it was gold. And by the way, if you were pure gold and pure silver, how was he coming up?
I don't understand.
Was he passing the test or failing it?
Well, he was streaking all over the place.
Okay.
That sounds wrong. He failed. Let's just put it that way. He failed.
And the test continues over and over and over.
He's constantly in the fire.
Yes.
But he'll never pass the test.
The test.
Man, that.
Okay. And so that's one. And so this torment of what he is going through is one of the things. All right. Now, I want you to let's go back to the scripture, and one part of the scripture says talks about him looking over and seeing Lazarus.
Oh, it's actually the same one where it says he saw Abraham in the far distance with Lazarus at his side.
Okay. He can see over into paradise. Now, I go to put this on a little bit later, but this is teaching us that the soul that is in hell or the soul that is in paradise is fully cognitive.
Yeah, I don't.
So
he is fully self-aware.
Regret comes in the form of looking over and saying, I could have been there.
If I believed.
But I am here.
Oh, man. Yeah, that.
And I can see it.
I can see where I
Think
went
about
wrong.
how that would wear on your mind for eternity. You're being tested in a fire that you will fail, and you can look over and see what
could have
been, but you chose not to.
You know, there's only so much that the human psyche, that's our brain.
At what point would that drive
take.
you insane?
Right, but what I'm saying is that it isn't us in our human brains. It's us in our very beings of our soul. Do you think there is a point in time where they actually break and go insane?
No, you can't. You're in perfection.
Oh, man. I always wondered about that, but something I didn't really want to hit on because I don't think you would go, because I personally thought I don't think you'd go insane because...
You're a soul at this point.
Yeah.
You don't have to work through the human body.
Yeah, you can... Wow, that's just...
How is that? And let's go look that up.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that you have to look that one up.
I was going to say we could probably do a little bit more of that
But
on a different episode.
But he could see it.
Yeah.
So there is visual confirmation of his choice for eternity. Now, would that how would that affect your regret? You're pigeonholed now.
Wow.
You will always have that ever before you to see what you could have had.
Wow, this sounds really dumb, but really makes me want to cry in pity.
What? That's not dumb. And a side effect of that should be exactly what you're doing, to be our motivation so that we share with others. Do you really want to see people to be in this kind of...
No.
No, I don't either.
I don't. I need a tissue.
Oh, I don't have any.
I don't. I took mine on a trip.
Wait a minute.
Do you have it?
COD, everybody watch this magic here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's number 2. So there's the visual confirmation. And if we look up a word, let's do it really quick.
Okay.
The word is
am I doing it on Google or
no, right on the
Blue Letter Bible? Okay.
Blue Letter Bible.
Okay.
And the word it's not on here. It's looking over, because it's the word look, and
look.
I want to make sure that it is the actual.
It should be in 1623 because it's eyes
lifted up his eyes,
and
he saw. That's the word.
And
Go
he
back
saw.
to and saw.
G 3708.
So this should not be a figurative word. This should be a literal.
Harao. Am I right?
Very good.
Well, yeah, if you look over here, it has the long O, so I'd assume it's not the ah.
Yeah.
Yay.
And the meaning of this word should be the literal
To
verb.
see.
To see with eyes.
To perceive.
It
to
is
know.
not. It's not figurative.
Ooh, experience.
See, that's what I'm saying about regret. It's all those things about what you do with your eyes so that it goes through your brain
Yeah.
to be aware of exactly what you're seeing, to comprehend it.
Full understanding.
Okay. That's what I wanted us to see. So please understand why I say this, it also becomes a regret.
It also says to
When
take
you're looking
heed.
over there. When you're looking over there.
Yeah.
It's no mistake. I perceive that could have been me. But instead, I chose.
I did what I wanted.
I wanted what I wanted so
bad.
that I
Did what I wanted
fill
to.
in the blank. I ignored Lazarus. The law said to be neighborly to those, help the poor. When I saw Lazarus, I couldn't even give him the crumbs off of my table.
It makes you want to know what other laws did he not?
Had to be plenty other laws because he satisfied himself.
Every day it said.
Yes.
Ooh.
Every day. He lived for himself every day.
Wow. I just don't.
All right. So regret number 3.
Yeah.
Remembrance. Let's go back to the story. And I think I can show you that he actually could remember what it was that he didn't do.
Yeah.
Or Abraham's going to tell him that. I think
yeah, this
Abraham says, remember.
That during your lifetime you had everything you wanted and Lazarus had nothing. So now he is here being comforted and you are in anguish.
All right. So let's go look up that word remember and let's make sure that we're using it correctly here. That this is something, these things are in his memory. And then I kind of want to point out something to you, maybe if it's in the literal language here.
That is not that does not look like that. That looks like it's missing some mimneskamai.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's because next to it, mimnesko is next to it, but the word in transliteration
Mimneskamai.
is
Okay.
mimneskamai.
Okay. I was super close to being able to enunciate
You
it
were
in
doing
my
good.
head.
You were doing good. And when we get down to it, what does that mean?
To remind, to be recalled, or to return to one's mind, to remind oneself of, to remember, to be recalled to mind, to be remembered, had in remembrance, to remember a thing, be mindful of. Wow. Okay. Do you think it could have said it any more than that? Truly in truth, pertaining to truth.
To have Abraham rebuke you in the middle
From
of
paradise.
this and say, remember. So you're looking, by the way, and this isn't a regret, but it is something that he had happen. And that is, he's looking for some pity. Did he get pity? No. Okay.
I think it would be.
Now that's not a regret.
I think it would become a regret. You think you could get new regrets in hell? Looking at paradise?
I think you'll. Well, let's just go over this. I don't know that those are questions that I can't really answer.
Fair.
And I don't want to put my
Thoughts.
bias, but what I do want to do is go through God's word and say what really happened here. So no, Abraham didn't give him any pity, but he rebuked him and told him to remember. So guess what he must be able to do. Now, can you imagine going through the memory of every time, because he said, remember, you had your good things in life.
Yeah.
But he had nothing.
It's
And
also,
then you get to process, I am here because I couldn't even follow God's law to help the poor. And all of a sudden, maybe certain days would start coming back to your mind. Wow, there was this time I could have. Because he said,
Right.
remember, be mindful of. And now, have you ever had a memory haunt you?
Yeah.
That's all that he has time for now.
Or his mistakes that he
Are these
made.
mistakes? I don't call a choice a mistake.
Well, I guess that would be the first, like, the stages of grief where it's like denial. It's, oh, it was a mistake. Oh,
Do you think you're in hell? Can you really have denial?
Sometimes the audacity of people astound me. But that is a question is I don't know.
I don't believe so.
I don't know.
I don't believe so. You'll one of the things that will happen, we're in, and so that's the other thing to cause regret, is in your mind you will know all the times that you had opportunities.
Yeah.
And you did not take them.
Oh, by the way, interesting. And maybe I'm reading into it more than what is actually there, but it basically says is that the rich man said, "Please, Father Abraham, at least send him to my father's home," sending Lazarus out of paradise back onto earth to try and warn somebody. It's basically like, well, I mean, no, I can't get out of hell maybe, but like if he could get out of paradise, because I can't bear seeing him in paradise, go warn my brothers at least.
What he is trying to show is a humility.
Oh, for the poor man to go do it?
So he is obviously greater than I. Could you send him? He now is a Lord. He now is a master because he had his bad things that had happened to him. You obviously are placing him over me. When I was in the world, I had freedom of mobility, of movement.
Mm-hmm.
I see now that I am a captive. Could you send him? I am now under him. So it's another plead for mercy.
Yeah,
Is
but
there
it's still so selfish?
Is there mercy?
Send him out of paradise.
No, because freedom to a person like that is considered to be of great value. That's wealth. He is now the wealthy. I am not. Okay? He has the freedom to move about. I don't. Would you please send him? I'm in bondage. He's free. I acknowledge that. That is a point of humility. I mean, he's broken now all of a sudden.
Didn't last long, huh?
Well,
Does
so
anybody?
now number 4, reality due to pain. Watch this.
That's the quenching his thirst.
No, actually, if you bring it over, I didn't write it. I didn't write it down, but I'll know it when I see it.
The 5 brothers warned them so they don't end up in this place of torment?
No, he's lifting up his eyes and when he lifts up the torture, the pain.
These ones?
Yes. Father Abraham, have some pity. Send Lazarus over here to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue.
Cool my tongue, not quench my thirst.
I am in anguish in these flames.
I quoted it wrong, but this is the one I was talking about.
Yeah, that's the one. For you see, due to the pain, the anguish, and the pain in the flames, it brings about reality. So in other words,
you can't escape it.
Pain.
That is
constant, consistent pain.
That's, oh my gosh. I can't fathom that.
So now you have, and it's physical.
Yeah.
So we think of all of these things in terms of spiritual, but have you noticed every time we've looked up the word word refers to literal, physical things, not figurative, spiritual, trying to think of parapsychology,
not
mythical,
not the paranormal.
Paranormal, it's nothing that is intangible. It speaks in terms. Jesus gave this, and every reference he gave is tangible.
Right. Do you think
concrete?
Do you think the pain would reach on every single level? spiritual, physical, mental. I don't know.
That's
You
what
think
I'm
it's just
showing. Look at
everything.
everything that we just went down.
Yeah, but the reality of the pain not only is on the physical pain, but then it reaches through
Okay.
the very depths.
Let's go to
Well,
let's
it
go to
is on
regret
your
number.
soul.
Let's go to regret number 5.
Yeah.
Emotional anguish.
Yeah. My goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So slide on down, okay, to the story, and he is in anguish, so much so that now he is gone to his brothers. He is in such soul
Yeah.
torment that you've got to send somebody to tell my brothers.
I mean, at least you love your brothers.
At least you love your brothers. Can you imagine the regret that you have for where you are,
What about
that
them?
now you're willing to
Yeah.
go and not even have your family be here?
But what about them? I don't want them to experience this. What about them? That finally, at least.
So what kind of soul anguish, what kind of regret are you experiencing here? You see what I'm saying?
Well,
It's emotional anguish that is causing this regret.
I was gonna say it's a different type of regret, but so many regrets roll into the fact of that you didn't do something, that it sometimes
Didn't or did do, but the
Right.
point is
The
you can't change.
No, you can't change what happened. So the annoying part about regret is that it's either because you did something or because you didn't do something, but it causes not a butterfly effect. It causes a chain reaction of where is it going to end up? What kind of regret are you going to have based on whether you did this thing or you didn't do this thing, or you did and didn't do this thing in the wrong order.
It's now he's got this regret that he lived his life this way and never once said anything to his brothers who he cares about, obviously,
Right.
or he does now. And
yeah, that's weird.
and the regret is I don't want them to come here. I did. How can we avoid this? And then the final regret.
Shouldn't he have known how to avoid it to begin with? It's like read the law. But isn't that that's so depressing. He knows. Hold on, let me right. But Abraham said Moses's
noses.
he supposes. Anyway.
Oh, supposes
But
his nose.
Abraham said, Moses and the prophets have warned them. Your brothers can read what they wrote. But the rich man replied, No, Father Abraham. If someone sent to them from the dead, then they will repent of their sins and turn to God.
What he is here you go. Emotional anguish. I didn't pay attention. I think I
know
would have if
somebody.
from the dead would have said something to me.
You shouldn't. Sorry, continue.
Well, I think you're onto something there. Go ahead.
You shouldn't have to have the extraordinary come
Not if you believe.
grandiose miracle to make you believe.
Not if you believe.
And I guess that goes back to blessed are they who believe and have not seen, from when he's talking to not Jeremiah, not Isaac.
Jesus is talking to
What's his name?
Thomas.
Thomas. It's like, it's not Jeremiah. It's definitely not Isaac. What? Yeah, Thomas. When you're talking to Thomas, where it's like, if you won't believe somebody who has seen it and you have to see it for yourself, then you need some help. And sure, some people need more convincing than others, and I understand that. But if it takes somebody coming from the dead for you to believe, instead of just reading and believing, then you need help.
Okay, so let's focus on this for just a minute, because in our generation, God did not use resurrection very much in all the Bible to get people to believe.
Right.
In fact, how many people do you know of in the Bible that were resurrected?
3.
Okay, I think there's 4.
Well, I don't count Jesus as himself. 3
Oh.
besides Jesus.
Oh,
The only reason I know
okay.
this is because we actually looked it up a couple of weeks ago, so
Okay.
that's why I know it off the top of my head.
Okay. See, I do count Jesus' resurrection because of
He
his
did-
resurrection,
Right.
many believed.
Right. Okay. So you want to say overall 4, but if you want to talk about before his resurrection or in Jesus's ministry, it would be 3.
Okay.
But let's not split hairs. 4.
So the point is it wasn't used very much. It hasn't been used much since. Okay, we have a couple of times in the New Testament where
Paul.
somebody fell out of a window. Paul was brought back to life after being stoned.
And he didn't die when he was bit by a snake, but
snake.
he would have.
Should
So,
have.
He should have.
You know, a viper. That's the whole point of a viper
Yeah.
is a poisonous snake, and
To kill
he
you.
shook it off and flung it into the fire.
That sucks.
Be gone, long one. So anyway, so it's not used much in history to get people to believe, but the testimony of other believers is used multiplicity of times to get other people to believe. Other miracles are used a multiplicity of time to get other people to believe. And then there are those who just read the word and go, I believe. And that's what they're on here is, believing other people's believing the writing of the prophets and of Moses, the law and the prophets. Believe them, and it won't matter if one came back from the dead. And we've seen that in our lifetime, that that people won't believe even if they were to see something miraculous, which is really funny because coming up here in end times, somewhere in the future, far future, near future, we have no idea of knowing, but there's going to be a guy who is going to do things so tremendously that people are going to look at him and call him Mashiach, Yeshua, and believe on him as the Messiah. And you go, wow. And it's going to be because of his miracles that they are going to do so.
Yeah.
And it's really funny that this comes out here because that's actually going to be the thing that will cause people to turn to somebody who is a fake because of the incredible things that he's going to do, the miracles.
Well, because they wouldn't believe, they didn't believe when reading. So when somebody finally gave them the extraordinary.
Well, you do realize that's
I know
the same word.
I know. I'm trying to think of the proper word. It's the not spectacular, not
spectacular is a good word.
Because it would be a spectacle.
So spectacular.
It would also be a spectacle that they put on because they finally got the spectacle that they wanted to make them believe something because I can physically see it. And I understand sometimes the thinking about, well, if I didn't see it, I don't believe it. But we're asked in the Bible to have the faith to
and
not
where we are now with
do that.
AI, we definitely don't want to go there. I mean, come on. I've been watching little babies talking and cracking up and making jokes, and they're funnier than a lot of other people. That's the problem.
So,
but it's not real.
It's not. We watched a video about a snowy owl and her chick that she was hurt, and it was the most inaccurate video to date of AI.
Well,
that I
just
think
for
I've seen.
our listening audience, so that everybody knows, at one time the lake was on one side of the road, and then the next time the lake was on the other side of the road.
Sometimes it was in the middle of the morning, sometimes it was afternoon, sometimes it was evening.
And then don't forget the owl itself. There was a baby owl there, and when you started, it was just molting. And then by the time that they got the mama owl released out, her foot was caught in a barbed wire fence. And by the time they got it out, it was a teenager adult.
Also, the fence didn't always have barbed wire on it, and a lot of times the road itself moved back and forth, and
Yeah.
then he opened up a little first aid kit, and as he unzipped it, suddenly he had a pan.
He had a
in his
pan. Yeah, I came up out of the ground, and then when he set it back down, there was a 3 blades of grass growing through the middle of the stainless steel pan.
Very, very strange indeed. And we can laugh at it now, but
But they're going to get better.
and it is getting better. And to know what it used to be like to what it is just in the last 5 years, even if you want to say 2 years.
It's going to get better and faster.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I mean, I've seen footage done, AI footage. It was not really called AI footage, but special effect footage that was done 15 years ago. And you just go, that's unbelievable.
It looked awful.
No, it was unbelievable.
Oh, well then, but it looks awful now.
No, it still is better, but it took them 3 months to do it.
Oh, instead of just a couple days.
Now it only takes about 2 hours in the afternoon. And that's the reason why the computers are, we're catching all these problems, and you can catch that it's AI now. However, it won't be too long from now. You won't catch those mistakes.
Yeah.
Because the computer won't make those mistakes. And it'll be just as good as the stuff that took 3 months to make.
This is why the Bible looks at it and goes, don't be deceived.
Yeah.
Don't be deceived.
Yeah.
Focus on the Bible and focus on what is important, which is God's Word, God Himself, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. All of that is the importance of moving on and moving forward, because you don't want to be, and I think I'm going to start this, and I'm going to do it because I think I can. For the main thing, don't let that be your regret.
What's that? Go
Don't.
ahead.
The realm of the dead is final. Don't find yourself there so that you regret it because you were deceived or you believed what you shouldn't.
That is true, but let me go back to regret number 6, which we didn't get to do.
Oh, well, I think because of the finality of it, it is nothing but regret number 6, and I think it
was hard to separate that, trust me.
Very much so.
But there is a reason why that is separated, because you talked about mental and physical anguish.
Absolutely.
And
you can't say quite the spiritual, because
once you are pigeonholed, once you can make no other choices, and it was all found in the idea, Abraham, would you go send somebody? No. And here he was, wanted to tell, and he was helpless to go tell his brothers.
Yeah.
He was there was nothing he could do.
Right.
Nothing. And when you sit there and you can't
help
react,
himself.
you can't help yourself, and you can't help somebody else.
Right.
And now you know. This is concrete.
Yeah.
You know what the problem is. You know what you've done wrong. You know that this can't be. Well, can I go help some? No, you can't do that. It has got. When I sat there and I worked through that, I'm like, that has got to be the most helpless feeling, and it leads to hopelessness.
Well, yeah, that creeps in really fast. You're already there,
and you can't. You know, this is where the knowledge part comes in. You can't change this.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't know, then somebody else would let you know. You're stuck.
No. You will come to perfect knowledge, and you will know.
Huh. That sucks.
And you won't be able to lie your way out of it.
No.
You won't be able to tell yourselves lie. That's the one thing that pain will take away. Oh, it's all a lie. I'm burning. Yeah. You know why?
Because it's not a lie.
Because it's not a lie. And you will come to the knowledge. You will know who put you there.
Yourself.
You had all, and that's the reminder of seeing him over there. the reminder of your own days and how you could have. You see him, you remember your days. You had every opportunity to change it. You don't think that that doesn't bring on regrets?
Absolutely, it does. The finality of it.
And with hopelessness and helplessness, that is the finality of the regrets.
Mm-hmm.
So back to what you were saying, the realm of the dead is final.
Don't let
It
that be
is
your regret.
what pigeonholes you to have to accept, because you will. Every knee will bow. Every tongue will confess
You will have
that Jesus
knowledge.
Christ is Lord. And if he's Lord, then all the things that he taught, all the things that he said, all the things that he lived for, the miracles everywhere, so that you would know what eternity is, it's all real.
whether you like it or not.
Now, you can pretend all your life that it's not there. That's pretending. You can pretend all your life that it doesn't exist. But when you lift up your eyes in hell, you're finally pigeonholed to have to admit.
Don't let that be your regret.
And I know that's heavy. I know that this is
But we love you.
yeah.
That's why we need to let you guys know, internet, more than just our subscribers, anybody who comes across this video, we want you to know that we care about you, which is why we're giving it out there. And we care about you because of the hope of being saved from those regrets.
And it goes back to there's a segment of this that goes back to what we started with in last week's, and that is the Word of God. It's real. It's all truth. It's not about what other people say, what other people think, all that kind of stuff. You go to the Word and find out for yourself. That's why we even do this, so that you can get a hold of BibleGateway.com, Blue Letter Bible, other apps, and things that we want to send you to, Project Bible, Bible Hub.
Bible Project.
Oh, Bible Project. I said Project Bible. Bible
close
Project.
enough.
I love their work. Dr. Mackey, what he does over there.
Answers in Genesis.
Answers in Genesis. These are places that we have found that has just been striving to give truth. And truth will set you free.
The hope that we have, the truth that we are here trying to give you so that you don't live those regrets, is Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. And so in the main thing, here's what you need to know. Number 1, the realm of the dead is final. Number 2, for lost souls, it is eternal regret. Eternal. It's forever. You will live that regret forever, both physically and emotionally. That's what we see out of this parable. The visual, being able to see, make connections. Then there's the emotion. You're not detached from emotion. Look at all the emotion that this rich man had. You know, I'm in physical anguish. Send somebody to my brothers. He's in emotional torment.
No.
So that's it. And number 3, that there is only one way to avoid regret. And that's faith in Jesus Christ.
Faith and forgiveness.
Well, that's faith should bring you to forgiveness.
To forgiveness, yeah.
And then becoming a new creature. And behold, old things are passed away, and all things become new. And that's how you take care of it, and there are no regrets. Maybe you're going to want to wish, man, I wish I could have come to Jesus Christ sooner. Ha ha!
Now is better than any other time.
But now is the day of salvation. You know, we're wrapping up here, and I'm hiccuping. And I was wondering maybe if we offered a prayer of salvation. And for those who might watch this at some point in time, if they were to pray this prayer of salvation and accept Jesus Christ into their heart and life, so that they have no regrets. Do you think, are you with me? Should we do that today?
I was hoping you would.
Okay. We need to do that. So let me go back and let me say, if you're a person that is staring down the line of regrets because you know that you have a past and there are things that you wish that you did different, the way to solve regrets is by accepting Jesus Christ into your life and getting a new start. Mm-hmm. And you start from where you are and live your life according to His way, and there will be no regrets. Yep. That's how you get rid of them. And so I ask that if you have never asked for forgiveness of sins and for Jesus Christ to come into your life, I'm going to pray a prayer. I want to lead you. Pray that prayer and mean it with all your heart and come to Christ. Now, and when we're done, I would just ask, if you prayed that prayer, would you just let us know and walk with us so that we can take you deeper and deeper into faith in Jesus Christ? That would be an honor and a privilege. And if not us, then the first thing you got to do is find a Bible-believing church and find a pastor and walk with him.
Yes.
Let's pray. God, I know you're a God, and I have never asked you into my life. I need you, God. There are things I know that I have done that are not pleasing to you. I know that there are things that I haven't done that would have pleased you. And, well, God, I haven't been living to please you. I've only been living to please me. And I know I've been living wrong. So, Jesus, I ask that right now, those things that I have done wrong with my hands, my mouth, my feet, places I've gone, God, I just ask and pray that you would forgive me for those places where I have gone against you. I know that that's called sin. And I've hurt you. I've offended you. In this tenderness of this moment, I am here to bow my head and to tell you I am sorry. Thank you for your forgiveness. I don't deserve it, but thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you for forgiving me of the things that I have done wrong. And help me to do things your way. I want to change. I don't want to be what I was. God, make me new. I don't want to have regrets in hell. God, I want to be with you in paradise. Thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you for loving me. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Again, if you prayed that prayer, just put something down in the comments, connect with us, and just say, hey, Pastor Eric, I just wanted you to know when you prayed that prayer, I did too.
And not clickbait, but we actually have another episode that if you did pray that prayer, it says, okay, I am forgiven. Now what? And it lines out a really good thing that you need to do when you come to Christ and you get forgiveness. And I really hope that, you know, even if you don't watch our video, that you do find someplace that gives you the support you need so that you can start your journey properly. Mm-hmm. And so that you can build on the foundation of Christ, the rock, so that you can stand on him and so that you can walk the path that he has set for you, so that you will live with no regrets, and you'll die with no regrets either. Because regret is a very horrible thing. So
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us today. And wow, I know, kind of heavy, but you know what?
Can't all be happy sunshine and rainbows.
Well, there is some happiness in this, and the fact that if we help somebody avoid regret, that's a happy moment.
Absolutely.
Happy moment. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast right here, except for giving the mentions that need to be mentioned, and that is how to connect with us. And we are asking for support. So if you can, Kay, give us that information again real quick.
If you're willing to give us support, we'd absolutely love it. You can give a one-time donation down below to our donation page or Ko-fi account. You can also become a member if you want to see the more of things that we do. And there's tons of perks there and more that we are going to be adding on to in the future as well. You can also see us on Instagram, on X, and on Facebook, which is, you can actually reach us on any of those platforms if you want to, on Ko-fi, on Facebook, on X, that I always want to call Twitter, and on Instagram. If you want to reach us here on YouTube, you can as well. We would absolutely love to hear from you, love to see you, even if it isn't, hey, I've been forgiven, but hey, I am a Christian as well, and or can I pray for you? We can pray for you. It would be awesome if you could pray for us as well, because we are trying to do God's work and God's ministry and get truth out there. There can never be enough people trying to say the truth, because it's a big world and 8 billion people. There's just one drop in a very large bucket of water that we may not make a big difference, but the ripples in the lives that we can change and touch is
what we're called to do.
Hopefully what we will do.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Great day, and no regrets.
Yeah.
We'll catch you here next time.
Bye.
Bye.